The video focused on what US media outlets were saying about the coronation. And then later I noticed something interesting, and that is the other topic that some sites that are US based and US magazines are focusing on. And it's something the British media won't touch. And that is Rose Hanbury. There has been talk about the Chumlees in recent weeks and the role that their family will play in King Charles's coronation and beyond. As I said before, I don't think this is actually like a big deal or something to read into. I think it makes sense that David is now going to be Charles's lord-in-waiting, in fact, a permanent fixture, so he's going to be at a lot of state dinners, etc. Or that Oliver, their oldest son, is going to be one of the pages of honor along with Prince George. The kids have been playing together forever. It's the son of David. Makes sense. Because recall, David is the same age as Prince Andrew, so he's friends with both William and Kate and Charles. He kind of falls right in the middle of that age gap. But it is interesting that US media is even willing to touch this, which makes me wonder how far the long arm of litigation really reaches when it comes to the British royal family. As I said in my video about Rose, Kate, Prince William, and the British media, there was clearly a media blackout put on that story of a rural rift in 2019. But let's get into what US outlets are saying. This is Harpers Bazaar. Harper's is currently run both by Hearst, located in the United States, and the National Magazine Company in the United Kingdom. This article, published May 3rd, is entitled, "Who is Rose Hanbury? Everything to Know About the Marchioness of Chumley." I promise you that's how Chumley is pronounced. I know it's nonsensical, but anyway. This is pretty much just a fluff piece. Here's what's confusing about it. The piece goes so far out of its way to not discuss why Rose and David have been in the media over the past couple of years that it doesn't make sense. If you've been living under a rock, you would be like, why are they focusing on this one aristocratic woman? I don't get it. The only thing that remotely hints to it is this paragraph. Quote, "It's no surprise that Rose will likely join the spectators at Westminster Abbey for the coronation, especially since she has long been a part of Prince William and Princess Kate's inner circle, an association that has often made her fodder for tabloid headlines and rumors, none of which the Prince and Princess of Wales have publicly addressed. She has often been photographed at events with William and Kate and was an attendee at Prince Philip's memorial service and Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral last year." End quote. Interestingly, the article links to this Daily Mail article that Richard Kay published a couple days after the rumors of a rift started swirling. Truly, it is a case of doth protest too much. There's no there, so I'm going to write roughly 35 paragraphs about it. I'm not going to lie, it's weird. Then we have this Cut article. The Cut is owned by New York Magazine from May 3rd, 2023. "The juiciest coronation drama has nothing to do with Meghan and Harry." The article opens with basically, so we know Prince Harry is going and Meghan isn't after months of speculation. So let's talk about the other alleged scandal in the room. Quote, "If you look closer, though, there is another potential powder keg of coronation drama hiding in plain sight." To be clear, I'm not advocating for the British media to talk about this or not to talk about it. But let's be clear. If this allegation involved a certain red-headed man and granola-loving, hugging, California-born duchess, the British media would be all over this. Again, what has always caught my eye about these allegations is not whether or not they are true. That's never what I've been trying to figure out. But the way the British media suddenly lacked all curiosity over something that would have been a major gossip story. I mean, look at how Charles's affair sustained the British media for years. Let's be clear, this is not about the absence of facts that has not stopped certain British media entities before. This piece does give you the background. As The Sun reported, specifically Dan Wooten, in 2019, Kate allegedly decided to phase out Rose Hanbury from their circle for mysterious reasons. Quote, "Royal sources were quick to quash the feud rumors. Royal-friendly reporter Richard Kay published a story in the Daily Mail soon after, claiming that, 'I am told the rumors of a falling out between these two attractive young women are false. I can also reveal both sides have considered legal action, but because none of the reports have been able to offer any evidence about what the so-called dispute is about, they have chosen to ignore it.'" End quote. It goes on to say, quote, then the palace reportedly did threaten legal action, and the British tabloids dropped the story completely. There was no follow-up reporting about a potential affair, no evidence presented, and certainly no comment from any of the involved parties, end quote. I think what the writer finds interesting, and I certainly find interesting, is again, the way the British media backed all the way off of this. I can't stress this enough. It will not stop certain people from accusing me of spreading affair rumors, but nonetheless, I can't stress enough that what I think is interesting about this alleged rift or affair is the way the media handled it. And the way the never complain, never explain British royal family was swift to bring down the fist if anyone dared to take a step further into this story. And the fact that the British media complied. And in exchange for what? Clearly the British media needed something in return. Otherwise, why would they not cover the story that would make them tons of money? I think it could be a couple of reasons, or perhaps all of them. Perhaps the exchange was more stories and information about Meghan. Feast on this instead of this. Perhaps there were assurances that if the British media didn't cover the story, they would get more access to William and Kate. Or maybe there was a shared interest in not doing something that would disgrace the future king. Because again, we saw what happened with the coverage of Charles around Camilla and how that fared and his popularity now. And maybe they don't want to do anything further to hurt the popularity of the monarchy, which they both have mutual interests, financial interest, to see continue. But it doesn't appear the American media has completely forgotten.